3 advanced expressions with the word nose that you must know. If you don't know me very well, hi, how's it hanging? I'm teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, yes, because every week there's a new English lesson to help you on your journey to fluency. So I appreciate you being part of this community. Now, vocabulary. Let's talk about 3 advanced expressions with nose. Simple word, and this happens a lot in the English language. The more you advance, the more you progress on your journey to fluency. It's interesting to go back and study basic words because nose is a very basic word. But there may be advanced expressions with very simple vocabulary. Additionally, as I always mention in my videos, focus on quality, not on quantity. This is not a race. You're not supposed to memorize 100 words a day. Pick your favorite and then post one example in the comments. But now, to pay through the nose, oh my God. You may already know what it means. To pay through the nose means to pay for something that is too expensive. So when you pay through the nose, it means that thing you paid for was extremely pricey, okay? So to pay an excessive amount of money for something, much more, in many cases, much more than the fair price. That is bad, okay? How do you feel, when you pay through the nose for something? Do you feel angry? Do you feel frustrated? Do you feel betrayed? Let me know here in the comments. I feel bad. I feel a little bad, sometimes even guilty. Like, oh man, I can't believe I did this. So take a look at some examples. We pay through the nose to get the car fixed. I don't know where you're from, but here in Brazil, when a car breaks down, you may end up paying through the nose to get that car fixed. Tell me, is that the same thing in your country? Do you have to pay through the nose to get your car fixed? Or it depends on the problem, okay? To be fair, I'm not really familiar with cars, but depending on the issue, it may not be so expensive. But in general, you pay through the nose to get your car fixed here in Brazil. Another example, you will pay through the nose to live in New York City. True, true, true. I've never lived in New York City, but I've been there a few times. And every time I went there, oh my God, I pay through the nose to get everything. From coffee to pizza to simple lunch or dinner. Imagine living in New York City. I don't know. Even in São Paulo, I'm from Brazil, I live in São Paulo. You pay through the nose to live here. It's really expensive. The cost of living is really high. And another example here, Jessica paid through the nose for that jacket. So you see the difference in preposition? When I'm using a verb, to. When I'm using a noun, for. I hope you got that, but let's keep going. Guys, one thing that I love doing with my BSA is contextualization. That's why I bring you the examples and I try to make them as realistic as possible. I make associations with my life. When I was talking about New York, I remembered the times I visited New York. I also talked about my personal opinion here in Brazil when you get your car fixed. What am I doing here? I am helping my brain strengthen the memory encoding. And this is something that I do with my students all the time. And this takes practice. Connecting the examples with your life takes time, patience, and practice. So make sure to post one example. I like when I see your creative examples here in the comments. Now, to rub someone's nose in something. Ooh, I like this one. To say or do things that make someone remember that they failed. Let's say you did something and you failed, or it was a bad experience or it didn't work out. Now, when a person rubs your nose in something, what is rub? Okay, in this case, rub your nose in the situation, in your failure. They are emphasizing, they are reminding you, hey, look, you didn't get it. Look, you didn't do it. Look. So they're always rubbing your nose in the situation that is very unpleasant for you. Okay, so that's the idea. They are reminding you repeatedly about your mistakes, about your failures. Okay, so stop rubbing my nose. In my last job interview, I know I failed. I know I didn't do a good job. I panicked, but hey, what am I gonna do? You know, live another day. So here's an example. I can't believe my friend was right about today's exam. I should have studied more. She's definitely gonna rub my nose in this forever. So look at the situation. We had a test, my friend and I, we had a test, okay? We had an exam. And I didn't do well. And my friend was telling me, Priscilla, this is difficult. You know, the test is gonna be hard. Study more. Let's meet up and practice together because, you know, it's gonna be tough. And I tell her, nah, never mind. I can do this. I'm super smart. You know, I can handle it. And then after the exam, I leave school and I'm like, oh my God. And then I talk to another friend. Oh, Peter, my friend was right. It was so hard. I should have studied more. She is definitely gonna rub my nose in this forever. In this what? The exam. I failed the exam, probably. It was too hard. She was right. And she's gonna rub my nose in it. Every time we get together to study, she's gonna remind me, remember the test? Remember that exam? You failed. You should have listened to me. I don't like when my friends do that. I have a friend who does that sometimes. She rubs my nose in in my poor decisions. Yeah, unfortunately. How about you? Do you have any friend who does that? You know? Let me know in the comments. And before I move on, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's a beautiful day to subscribe. And if you're interested, share this video. Maybe you're learning something useful. So share. When you share, it means you care. Moreover, I have my study plan, which is really beneficial to students who study alone and don't know how to organize their study routine and need better recommendations and strategies so that they can learn how to have efficient practice to be able to achieve English fluency. So the link is in the description of this video. But other than that, let's keep going. Number 3, to stick your nose into something. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about people who do this, okay? I don't feel good about it. And I know some people who are often doing that to me. And typically I politely shift the conversation because I don't feel comfortable when people are sticking their nose into my business, to my life. You know, got it? You have an idea what it means? So to stick your nose into something means to get involved or want information that doesn't concern you. Another expression connected to this and to the word nose is nosy. Nosy, okay? A person who is nosy does that. Hey, so what's going on? Oh, new earring. Oh, what happened? Oh, new car. Oh, how's it going? They're always asking you questions that they are not supposed to know about. It's none of their business, but they're always sticking their nose into other people's lives, into other people's businesses. You know, when I say business, I'm not talking about work. It's an expression. It's people's lives, you know, people's stuff. And it is rather uncomfortable when people do that. And I know people who do it, and it's really unfortunate. Here's an example. I love Jan, but she likes to stick her nose into everything around here. Oh my God, look at the intonation. Guys, it's important to pay attention to intonation. I'm not saying you're going to exaggerate, but there is some tension here. She likes to stick her nose into everything around here. Into everything around here. See? Intonation is key. I'm complaining. I like her, but I don't like that. I don't like the fact she likes to not gossip, but to learn about everything that's going on, to stay informed way too much, more than she should be. Seriously, why does she do that? So again, contextualization. This is something that I talk to my students about. Oh, I learned an expression. This is more contextualized because if I only create a phrase, oh, Jan sticks her nose into my life. You used the expressions, but it's not well enough. You know, it's not complete for your brain to assimilate. So it's much better when you add a little bit of emotion. I'm frustrated here. Seriously, why does she do that? And I even do this example creation orally. I do it by writing and then by speaking because I need to help my brain remember. So I write, I exercise my physical memory, and then I speak. Typically not here right now, but I create different examples. And even as I am doing this lesson, before giving you the expression, I was already using the expression. I feel horrible when people stick their nose into my life. That's actually true. And I can tell immediately when someone is sticking his or her nose into my life because of the questions they ask, because of the mannerisms. And as I am a master practitioner of NLP, I also pay attention to behavior and language patterns. So I know someone is doing that to me immediately because I know language patterns, I know body language, I know visual cues. So when someone is doing that to me, I feel really disappointed. I feel like, okay, so you're not going to get anywhere with this. I'm not going to share a lot of information. If you look at my social media, I rarely share anything personal because I don't like people who do that, you know. I only share what I feel comfortable with. Now, that is going to be all for today. As I said before, practice, create an example, post an example in the comments. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.